Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Birth of a Nation. So I already knew that this was going to be a difficult film to talk about based on controversies completely outside of the film itself, but also probably the film subject matter and what that all means put together. So how I'm gonna format this review, I am going to first of all just talk about the film. Only the film as an objective piece of work, and then I'm going to tie that into Nate Parker's personal controversies and how it all kind of ties together and intersects. But the fact that I'm even making a video that is half dedicated to controversy based on the star, director, and writer is such a shame, because Birth of a Nation is objectively a really special movie. I mean, it was fantastic. It's a completely powerful, just soul-shaking kind of film. As an actor and as a director, Nate Parker delivered as an artist here. I think that he really portrayed Nat Turner wonderfully, with so much heart, so much depth. It was just such a layered, really strong acting performance, and he had the potential to really be a huge star. We'll turn back around to that at the end of this video. But I also think that his directing style was just fantastic. It was gritty, but also extremely light and really artistic. He made some wonderful, beautiful cinematography choices here in the film, and it struck a wonderful balance of really depicting the just ruthlessness and violence that ensued with slave owners to their slaves, but also to just this revolution in general that took place. I think it really struck a balance of just making it seem very brutal, very hard to watch at times, but it never felt gratuitous. He showed you enough to make his point and then backed away. And while I think that it was completely appropriate to elongate scenes and really drag them out and express just how horrific it was in films like 12 Years a Slave, which I think was phenomenal, this movie already had a much more violent nature than 12 Years a Slave, and wasn't necessarily about kind of just life as a slave. It was about a violent revolt that took place. And I think, again, it was just handled with such care and such taste that I really appreciated that. I also think Aja Naomi King was so good in this film. I think she delivered just a wonderful performance, as did Armie Hammer. I think he just gave really a layered, subtle, nuanced performances. His character undergoes a very gradual but a very dramatic transformation throughout the film, and Armie Hammer just depicted it so well. I mean, I was completely impressed. I would have loved to see more out of Gabrielle Union, because I love Gabrielle Union, and she has really come out and been a little bit vocal about the whole controversy situation and sexual abuse. But, I mean, I think she's in 3 scenes total, so it was a little bit disappointing. I was hoping that her character in general would just have more of a presence, but, I mean, that could have been literally anyone. But across the board, the entire cast they really deliver. From the white cast members, the slave owners, the reverends, just coming off as repulsive for the most part, to the more kind white cast members, to the slaves, and the different situations that these slaves were in, and the actors really captured the essence of, there was a hierarchy within slavery as well, and it was it was really disheartening. It was really something to see. And I think that is something else the film really hits on very well, is that, slaves were not equal as well. That's the simple fact of it. No slave life was a worthy life. Let's just get that straight. No life as a slavery was equal to that of a free man. and actually no freed black man or woman had a life, quality of life, equal to that of a white person. Just period, point blank. It's not arguable, just period. However, we saw some of the slaves who were owned by compassionate people who were able to at least have a little bit more luxuries of a life, who at least were able to feel more of a human being compared to some other slave owners who were just, horrific. And again, we saw that in movies like 12 Years a Slave. It's been explored, but it was really done well here in this movie. I thought the film also handled religion amazingly well. It really highlighted how religion and the Bible has been used as a weapon throughout all of history, to be honest, but really against black communities in our country, and how it was really used, obviously, in the circumstance against the slaves. It's just appalling to watch. You know it happens, but then again, seeing them manipulate and use a slave to manipulate and use the word of the Bible against other slaves was just, it's appalling to watch. It's simply appalling. So I really appreciated that we went there. We showed that time and time again, the word of the Bible just gets manipulated to meet whatever agenda the people in control want it to meet. But it also showed a nice even side to religion of, look, it can get you out of these situations. Sometimes you really need that hope. You really need something bigger to believe in. Thus, you turn to it. It helps you move through these difficult situations. So I thought it was a really fair, even-keeled look at religion. And I also think it was a pretty even story once we got down to the nitty-gritty of it. Once we get into the actual revolution part, the revolt that happens, it is very violent. And it leaves you kind of feeling sorry for everyone. There's a couple characters that were just too terrible to redeem at all, but you feel for everyone involved. You just see the monstrosity that was slavery, the hatred that everyone was filled with in our country, and just the horrible situation it bred. And there were just some extremely disturbing scenes with children at the end, and you just saw hatred in their face, just hatred. And how slavery was bred. It was just, those were such impactful moments in the movie that just took you back, because it's just like, oh my gosh, it's hard to even see children like that. But really, I actually really can't think of flaws with this film. I think it was really something special from start to finish. It is an excellent, excellent movie. So how does this excellent movie correlate with a seemingly not so good human being? That's where the waters get murky. And it's really unfortunate that Nate Parker, did what he did. It's not unfortunate that it's been resurfaced, because I think, look, you need to be exposed if you're going to be doing some wretched acts, such as, basically gang raping a woman and then harassing her with your friend for years until she commits suicide after she's dropped the case against your friend. And I know people might say, oh, well, he was found innocent and ultimately nothing was really brought against the friend because she did drop the charges. Well, let's just use common sense, folks. Let's just read what was said in all of that, and it was basically just because he had a previous sexual relationship with her that he was found innocent. And I think this is a great instance of just showing intersectionality and how it operates in our system. It just showed that Nate Parker had supreme male privilege in a rape case. Period. Got off scot-free. Unfortunately, the woman took her life, so on and so forth. It brings us here. His past is being brought back up, and now it's showing how, unfortunately, race is playing a factor in it, because we've seen many a director commit some horrible crimes and either get off with nothing done to them. Yes, I'm looking at you, Woody Allen. But they continue to work and have not received such criticism. But here we are with Nate Parker, who may have his career ended very much justifiably, in my personal opinion, because, he committed acts that led to someone taking their own life. And I also do think that these other people, I don't support their work. And that was part of the reason I was fine going to see Birth of a Nation, is because it was at a free screening. It did look like an amazing film about a subject that I'm always interested in. And I didn't have to financially support it. I guess I am supporting it by showing coverage, but this is such a small channel. But Nate Parker has just been pretty horrible on this entire press junket of trying to build momentum for this film, that he's not really making a good case for people to ignore his personal life and just respect his work. So that's unfortunate for the film. If you're able to separate the man from the material, then I mean, this is a must-see. It really is. It's so special that it is a must-see. But if you like to show your stance on issues via your dollar, then I have to say, skip it. Wholly skip it. Watch it when it's accessible to you for free. Because I completely understand not wanting to support a film and financially support the creator of this film after they have done something just completely horrendous. And I think it is ultimately going to, stop Nate Parker's career in its tracks, both on an acting, directing, writing, all around. I think we won't be seeing him in front of the camera anymore. I don't think that people are going to be able to get over this. And unfortunately for, him as a person and speaking on our society as a whole, I think it's especially the case that we won't be seeing him in front of the camera anymore because he's black. And I think we're getting to a point where we can forgive these white folks, these white men, I should say white men, for doing what they've done. But I don't think we'll get to a point where we'll be able to forgive and forget what Nate Parker has done. Not saying he should be, just pointing out something in our society. So that is my review and discussion about all things Birth of a Nation. I am thinking about making a whole nother video just kind of talking about double standards and intersectionality and how it's playing into, pop culture in general. So be on the lookout for that, especially if you're interested in that kind of topic. And I really love engaging in intelligent, well-reasoned discussion. So go ahead, let me know. Are you excited for Birth of a Nation? Are you going to go and support it? Will you see it? And has the controversy changed your viewing of the film? Let me know either in the comment section down below or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!